Welcome to 52 Circles, and our prompt is weave. For this, I've cut myself a circle of grey card, so just the back of a packet. I've got lots of strips of fabric, and I'm just cutting little indents around the edge of the circle to use to secure. I'm just using some garden twine, but string would also work to make these little spokes, which are going to be the warp of our weave. A tip for threading the fabric through a tapestry needle is just to cut the end into a point. That makes it much easier to thread through the needle. And you're then going to work the fabric around those almost like bicycle spokes of string, pulling them tight as you go. You're going to go over the top of one and then underneath the next one. And make sure that this first row round is really secure. It's important to remember as you're working this, what you're looking at is the back of your weave. So it's going to look a little bit untidy and a bit raggedy, and you're going to have those loose edges every time you change to a new colour of fabric. But don't be disheartened by that, because you'll see at the end when we turn it over, the actual weave side itself is much neater. Now, this is a great way of using up strips of fabric, kind of offcuts of things, and also threading in bits of yarn or wool roving, anything that you've got lying around. Here you can see me just securing the start of a new strip of fabric by just sewing it over the top of one of the spokes, one of the warps, and that just holds it in place. So threading it underneath and then putting it back over the top to make a secure kind of loop, stops it unravelling. Here I'm just taking a strand of wool roving and just trapping that so it becomes part of the weave. And obviously you can play around with that and kind of introduce lots of different textures depending on what you've got lying around. My final kind of loop around is just some sheer fabric, some organza, and that just gives it a nice kind of edge, a kind of contrast to the sari silks that I've used in the middle. And again, just finishing off that last one by looping it around. I can then cut the warps and gently peel it off from the cardboard base. And I've got my final weave. You can sew in the ends on the reverse so that you get a neat disc. So you could use these in a very functional way as coasters. Here's my finished sample, and I hope you enjoy playing with yours too. Have a good week.